How's it going, guys? Welcome to another Sonic Frontiers first on reaction video. This is from IGN. It's actually from yesterday, but I didn't have enough time to cover it. But here we are now. And I'll source the video in the description.
He's been a pioneer of the high-speed 2D platformer, an Olympic athlete.
Oh, so that was the Nintendo Switch Online Plus Experience Pack version.
And a Hollywood blockbuster movie star as well. But he's never done open world. And Sonic Frontiers fixes to change that. I was fortunate enough to be one of the first people out
I'm still looking forward to the game. I just...
And let me just say, if you're worried about how...
Now, hold on. Wait a minute.
This unfamiliar genre, well, I think Crush 40...
I remember explicitly reading that they did not play this game. This was footage from Sega. Obviously, the game's from Sega. But I was under the impression that IGN, someone from IGN, was playing this. Then I was told, no, well, just from a friend online, that this was from Sega. So someone at Sega played it, or Sonic Team, whatever. But now it seems like he's actually the one playing it. Maybe it's only just for this video. I don't know. Anyway, whatever.
About how the blue blur will fare in this unfamiliar genre, well, I think Crush 40 probably put it best.
Open your heart.
It's gonna be all right.
Do they really have to put that in? Well, I don't know. I mean, I do like Crush 40, but...
The first thing that struck me about Sonic Frontiers was how...
Whoa, hold on. Go back, go back. Look at that, how that tree loaded.
The first thing that struck me about Sonic Frontiers...
Okay, I don't know if you saw that. One more time.
The first thing that struck me about Sonic Frontiers was
okay, it like flickered.
Somber and serene it was right from the outside.
I mean, I play games that do that, but it's an early build, so.
Sonic finds himself right from the outset. After flying into a wormhole with Tails and Amy, Sonic finds himself separated from his friends and all alone on an isolated
backstory
island.
of the
Nothing but an
game.
AI voice guiding him to collect.
Okay, good. There is boosting.
There's no one for Sonic to bounce quips off of. No energetic Crush 40 soundtrack. Just wide open fields as far as the eye can see. There's an air of mystery in Sonic Frontiers, and it's a vibe that's driven home even further by the beautiful yet minimalist piano melodies that accompany Sonic.
So he's running faster. I mean, he's not running fast all the time, but he seems to run faster in this video. I mean, there's times where you're not going to want to boost all the time. It'd be interesting if he had unlimited boosting.
All of this is a very intentional choice. I asked Sonic Team head Takashi Iizuka to describe how...
I would almost rather prefer that.
And he said, past games in the Sonic series have taken different tones depending on their stories and themes. This time, these mysterious islands are the game's major setting. That's why our artists have worked hard to create a mysterious mood. Of course, the big new change in Sonic Frontiers is the shift from purely linear levels to a huge open world where Sonic can freely...
Game still doesn't look that bad, though. I mean, obviously, it could be better, obviously, but it's an early build, so that makes me feel a little better. I don't think the game looks horrible, though. Obviously,
open world games like Zelda or other AAA games fundamentally have...
It looks kind of dull, but...
For Sonic, the core here is a 3D action game. Our basic idea was to have that take place in open space. What sets Sonic Frontiers apart is this different approach to an open game world. Having played Sonic Frontiers for about 4 hours, it's easy to see what Iizuka-san means.
Yeah, he did play it, so I don't know what people are talking about.
Very different from any other open world I played. It's a giant playground. Every few feet, there's a bumper spring that bounces you like a pinball between 5 other bumpers.
I don't think the game's going to be absolutely perfect. It may not even be like my favorite Sonic game, you know, which is fine.
Leading to some other collectible or reward,
but
or a line of rings that you can lightspeed dash into. Essentially, they've taken that core appeal of every Sonic level having multiple paths that eventually...
I'm hoping it's not going to be as bad as people think it will be.
That to these giant non-linear open zones. One thing that has to be noted is that very few of these elements are built into the environmental design.
Yeah, they're calling it open zone, not open world. I mean, which is basically the same thing, but...
are just inexplicably floating in the air all around, which isn't totally unusual for a Sonic game, but it feels especially jarring in Frontiers in particular because of the frequent and sudden pop-in of these objects and the otherwise very...
Like how that tree popped... Well, it flickered black.
It's worth emphasizing that this gameplay and the version that I played were from an early build. But this is definitely an area that I would hope to see improvement in the final version. Beyond that, there are also a wide variety of...
I would almost like to see the game come out next year instead of this year.
Is how you uncover sections of your map. Most of these are very simple, requiring you to orient the statue the correct way,
Reminds me of Knuckles.
back and forth between colored tiles, or use Sonic's new side loop ability to draw circles around certain objects in the environment to interact with them. The best ones, though, are the races against the clock, where you have to get...
I'm not gonna go into this game thing as like, oh, it's gonna be the best thing ever. You know, I do think it'll be a fine game though.
A ton of fun, because you have to try and improvise a path to the end.
As long as it's not unplayable and it's not like Sonic 06. Okay, so the video is 60 FPS. It's just the gameplay's not.
There are some
Especially this.
combat in traditional Sonic games generally isn't
But when they have like the on-screen
than jumping,
text
rolling, or
animations,
using
though,
a homing
that
attack
moves at a higher frame rate.
at the right time. That changes in Sonic Frontiers.
So what is that
It has you fighting all
chord
sorts
or
of
whatever?
enemies and mini bosses using an all-new
I don't know.
incredibly flashy attacks. It's not all style and no substance though. Sonic is able to quickly dodge using the bumper buttons on the gamepad, and by pressing them together,
Excuse me.
even parry attacks with the right timing. His homing attack also feels much more powerful, landing with a ton of impact and keeping Sonic stuck to his enemy, allowing for a flurry of follow-up strikes. One of the things I really appreciate about the combat from what I played is that there are usually multiple ways to deal with specific enemies. Like, take for example this guy, who has an impenetrable shell that he can expand into spinning blades and throw at you. One way to deal with him is...
Now, it didn't look like Sonic had a reflection there. See a vampire? No. It's probably just, it's still early in the game.
You can either parry the blades and knock them away right before they hit you,
Ow, damn it.
or you can even use Sonic's side loop ability to encircle the enemy, which causes the shell to go flying upwards. Defeating these enemies will reward you with EXP that you can use to purchase new skills from a skill tree, which gives Sonic Frontiers a really nice feeling of power progression, even in just the relatively short amount of time that I played. Some of the later skills that you can get are just unbelievably cool, and it's super satisfying to see Sonic Team experiment with different ways that Sonic can attack enemies beyond just spins, jumps, and bumps. In addition to these smaller enemies, there are also a handful of enormous world bosses that I had to contend with. These are near Shadow of the Colossus.
Now, someone pointed out on Twitter, don't remember the name, but someone pointed out that the seagulls run at the same speed that Sonic does. Like when he's running fast, if that makes sense.
Boss battle, far beyond anything I've seen in the Sonic series to date, but it's also the part of the game that
Almost reminds me of the big robots you fight in Sonic 06 in a way. And a little bit of Super Mario Galaxy, because there was a boss in Mario Galaxy, actually a couple bosses, where you would have to like climb up its arms.
Which open up portals that lead to bite-sized linear stages, done in the style of previous Sonic games, giving Sonic Frontiers a nice mix of both old and new styles. These classic levels each come with a handful of optional goals, like being the level under a certain time,
Phone is vibrating in my pocket.
and so on, with each goal rewarding you with a vault key, which are needed
A what?
to unlock the coveted Chaos Emeralds.
A Volt key. Okay.
Sonic Frontiers is an exciting new step forward for the Sonic series into uncharted territory, and based on my time with it, Sonic Team seems to have hit upon a winning formula. There's certainly still work to be done before it's released during the holiday season. There's a lot of distracting pop-in, there's a fair amount of bugs still left to be squashed, and the big boss fights could do with some tweaking. But ultimately, my time with this early build answered the one question I had on my mind. Will Sonic's one-of-a-kind gameplay translate into an open world? The answer is a resounding absolutely. Thanks for watching, and tune into
Like I was saying before, I think the game looks pretty good. Obviously, there's going to be issues. I think even when it comes out, there's going to be issues, you know. But as long as the game's fun, it's playable. I want to have a good story. I mean, the voice acting, I think, is already going to be good. Music sounds pretty good. But my main thing is, as long as the gameplay, you know, the character transitions, whatever, is fun. You know, there's not long loading screens. Obviously, there's probably going to be some loading screens. But you know, so I don't really think it's going to be like a horrible game. It may not be great, but I don't know. I'm hoping. I kind of have hope for this game. Now, that doesn't mean once this game comes out, oh, there'll never be a bad Sonic game again. No, I don't. Unfortunately, that's probably not going to be the case. But, you know, and say if this game does really, really well, it sells well, does this mean we're not going to get a whole lot of 2D titles anymore? I don't know. I still think we will, just because the 2D Sonic games still sell pretty well. So it's not like, you know, if those suddenly started not selling well, then I think Sega you know, they're like, yeah, we're gonna make fewer of those, but I don't think it's gonna be that, you know, like that. Anyway, but I'm still looking forward to Sonic Frontiers. Like I was saying, gameplay. If the gameplay is fun, you know, there's not the loading screens aren't very long, and they're, you know, if there are loading screens, if they're pretty fast, you don't see them very often. And if there's not any, there's going to be some glitches, but if there's not too many game-breaking glitches, and the gameplay's fun, you know, frame rate, all that, also going to vary on the platform you're playing on. But you know, that's the main thing I'm concerned about, more so than the story, the music, the characters. Well, you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah. So let me know what you guys think of Sonic Frontiers. If you're looking forward to the game, I still have hope for the game. So I'm going to end this here. I want to thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video, which I believe IGN is going to be showing off a boss battle tomorrow, I believe. I'm not going to be uploading that tomorrow because I have to work like immediately after, so I'm not going to have time. So I'm just going to wait until Friday. So hopefully that is okay for everyone. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys later.